here. I'm here to do a little fun kind of, I don't want to say fluff, but like, I'm just here to do a fun video today. It's called Like This, Read That. I started going around a few months ago, and I decided in my perfect, late, completely missed the hype train manner, I'm gonna do it now. Y'all know how these things work. I recommend you something based on another book. I'm doing this specifically with my recent reads. So it is a mixture of genres, but they've all been read within kind of the last 4 months or so. And of course, as a phenomenal filmer, I did not prep a single one of these books. So we'll see if I can easily reach them. If not, I will just pop an image up in the corner here to fill in. So my first one was last month's book of the month, and that is The Ocean at the End of the Lane. And if you enjoyed this, I would recommend The Kind Folk by Ramsey Campbell. Slightly different feels, but they're both dark fantasy. They're both kind of low urban fantasy. There is a lot of childhood reflection with this dark magic, and it really does overall has that similar kind of folktale vibe. And along with that, it also has the idea that you're never quite sure if it's childhood imagination or if there's actually magic in that involved. The sense of unreality is really prominent with the main characters in both stories. And although the storyline is different, like with this, you're following a man's reflection of childhood. With this, you're following a man who is about to have a child himself and is looking back just kind of disconcertedly at his childhood and the things that happened in it and what he's preparing for. The next one I don't have. I got these both from the library, so I'll just pop pictures up here. If you like Lock Every Door by Riley Sager, you'll probably also enjoy Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia. Although they're a little bit different, they both have the large mansion kind of gothic vibe to the atmosphere, which was super, super creepy and really enjoyable. And it helped raise tension even if there was never outright fear involved. There's this Ouroboros inclusion in both stories that results in like these really interesting ideas of extending life and death. I also really enjoy that because of the atmosphere and the characters' paranoia, they are a little bit unreliable, which is a lot of fun, and they do it in a way that doesn't really make you feel like they're super mentally ill or they're a recovering alcoholic. They just feel like they're disoriented. Number 3 on my list, I actually have this book at work. We've started a little reading library there when we had our work slow down with COVID, and I have not brought that book home yet, and it is The Wish List by Jane Costello. And if you enjoyed that, I would actually recommend My Not So Perfect Life. That I also don't have a copy of because I listened to it as an audiobook from my library. My Not So Perfect Life was a read from last year, but The Wish List was from earlier this year. The reason I like it is you have just these really relatable, sweet main characters who are very realistic, slightly manic, and just, like I mentioned, relatable. They're a lot of fun to follow. You have a love interest who, based on their own interpretation of themselves, is slightly out of their league. Although, that's just based on how they think of themselves, which is another part of their relatableness, if that's a word. And then the story overall is just upbeat, slightly neurotic, with just this really entertaining main character / narrator. And there's a warm ending, like it's a warm story with a happy ending. And if you liked The Wish List, you're gonna like My Not So Perfect Life, or at least I did. And that's what I would recommend. Just similar characters, similar vibe, same plot. Beautiful, bang, bang, boom. My 4th book is Dark Places by Gillian Flynn. And having finished it, I would also recommend These Things Hidden by Heather Gudenkopf, which I read a few years ago, but was just such an intense story that it stuck around. It is intense, but really unhealthy relationships with sisters and with families. There's a lot of family secrets and tragedies involved, and the main characters in both books really struggle to... They have main characters that really struggle with the weight of their family's history, and other characters really struggle with love and forgiveness within family and within relationships. And there's just these horrifying situations that happen in both books that are really very different, but have like equal gravity, and they both had horrendous fallout, and this is how everyone's recovering after the fact. I really recommend both these books if you enjoy female narrators and just really dark stories. And my final one is going to be Space Opera by Catherine M. McManus. And if you liked that, I sort of want to recommend Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams. Although in my opinion, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is way better. This space opera will be showing up in another video, so I'm not going to go too in depth here with it. But they have overlapping kind of absurdist descriptions, world-ending events, and just fun vibes, I guess. If you like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I mean, I probably wouldn't pick up space opera, but if you liked space opera, pick up Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And I'm going to leave it there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.